What's up, guys? Coming at you with another quick video on the environment of the after the 11.20 IRE nerf and the changes that we're noticing and how we're going to want to change up our setup based on this new change. So as you know, the max stack bonus AD ratio is dropped from her passive from 30% to 20%. It's going to be a pretty big hit late game. We meant to queue that minion there, but she moved over the minion or something, and we didn't click the minion ahead of time or something like that. So yeah, what we're trying to do is just last hit minions near her, get some hits on her after the queue another one, get out or something like that. Just try to get some sort of trades here. We are going to go for an all-in. She's going to die there. That was such a close call. I didn't use my W because we're just going for that burst. If we use the W there, we're probably just going to die unless we tap it maybe, but then really we're going to lose DPS if we tap it. It's rank 1. So not a lot of damage. So I feel like we played that one pretty good. So the build setup, like I said, what we're going to be going with is the Blade of the Ruined King Rush. Note things. I actually started off playing IRE this way, so this is actually the way that I am used to this setup. I actually had to do adjustments to get used to the gore. I'm noticing the weakness of this build is that you can be just bursted down pretty easily. So your positioning needs to be key. You need to come into fights a little bit later. I think we're we don't have our flash, or we would have with flash stunned. Yeah. The gore drinker, one of the early advantages I noticed about this is the ability to take chickens very early. We see Nautilus is up here, so we're just going to back off here. We're outnumbered. We're just not looking for deaths here. So we're just going to get out. We're not going to dilly-dally too long. We're just going to get out. I want to go back to my lane here, so I do ward that, see if I can go through this way. Save a lot of time. Hopefully get back to the lane in time. I do see Zed looking for something here, so I'm just going to go safe. Stay safe, guys. The concept behind this safe early play style is that you know you're better than the other enemy team, right? You're going to get chances to outplay them as long as you're not behind. Doing the early game stuff too much is how you get behind. We just need to focus on CS early and scale into the mid game where our strengths are. Like you can all in people when you get opportunities, but if you don't get an opportunity, don't go for a bad dive. That's why I see a lot of people mess up a lot, especially with this squishier build. Is if they don't get the right setup, they still try to dive it. They feel like they're committed. You're never really committed. IRE's tanky enough to usually just walk away, especially early on. With just her base stats off the bat, she's pretty tanky here. You can see I have a lot of health, 860 max health already, with no health items, just a corrupting pot. So early on, we're extra tanky. Like for example, Zed has only 777, quite a bit less. We see rotations going down here, and we're just kind of shadowing. We thought maybe IRE was going with him, and that we're just kind of trying to get some sight and see what's going on. We know Zed's level 4, so he's not going to really threaten us too much. We do recall, and it's kind of sucks because at the same time Zed's going for an invade. He does take that Gromp and blow Diana's flash, so that's going to set her back a little bit. strengths of this build is obviously you just burst down the squishies a lot faster. If you're doing everything correctly, this has always been, in my opinion, the best build. Tell high, heal low. If you're doing everything right. So we're gonna go with the Blade of the Ruined King rush into most likely a shield bow. Or we are gonna go shield bow, pretty much. Blade of the Ruined King shield bow pretty much every game. If you're getting super heavy AP jungle, you might go wits in into the shield bow. But we're going Blade of the Ruined King for the level 9 one shots on the back line and just faster farming, faster killing squishies. We do a really bad job taking chickens here, and this is kind of what I was talking about. If we had the Iron Spike Whip, chickens are just a breeze, right? But not going the Iron Spike Whip slows down your chickens really early, so you might just want to delay taking chickens until you get maybe a couple more ranks into your Q and W. Maybe when you get your rank 2W, I'm not sure, maybe that's when the best time to start taking them optimally. But we did just kind of mess that up. We kept trying to last hit with the Q and it wasn't doing enough. So I'm trying to go for a freeze here. She's kind of breaking the freeze, but we dodge out the ult. That's what you need to be looking for, guys. You can see how I walked off to the one side and then I queued to, diagonally. This is going to make it hard for people to hit anything on you, and it's also going to, you can stand there and bait out something like her ultimate like that and just, this is a big ripperoni. I just kind of stood there and died. But I was really glad that the Ash ult came out. So we got that cooldown out of the way. There was no MIA from bot here, so that was just a rip. Let's speed it up and get revived here. So we're losing some creep for that. Not ideal. You never want to be losing creep to your tower as Aurelia. This is one of the easiest champs to clear with and stay in lane with, even when you're low. You can stick around just for that extra wave. If you're going to lose CS to tower, it's a big rip. Watch Chovy. He doesn't ever lose CS to tower. He'll stay there with dangerously low health and no mana just to risk it for the biscuit, just to get those CS, and he knows he's not going to get dived too badly because he can outplay. So let's go ahead and go back and slow that down. We're just a basic combo here, and then we have Zed coming in. So we don't spot the Zed. He's back here. He comes in hard, and we're just gonna flash for the kill. And I actually was trying to Q this one, misclicked it, so my character was just running or something. I don't know what my character was doing, so I had to Q again. But again, he gets greedy. We hit him with a stun. We set the stun back here, and then when he came in, we finished the stun by placing it here. So again, like I talked in my other video, a lot of times you want to be placing your stun the direction of the creeps, the way the creeps move, or that kind of line. Doesn't matter if you put it behind you or ahead of you. Usually, in lane, you're just going to be going for a lot of the queuing the minion and setting up your E that way on top of the minion in the mid Q dash. You E1. Talked about that in the other video. How to set up your stun in lane. You're just going to want to Q a low minion, and while you're in the dash, put your E1 down on the top of the minion you're queuing, and then instantly E2 as far as you can behind the enemy, and Q them. Wreck their face. But what that does is mask the E1, so they're not hearing it or seeing it, and they're not expecting it. They just see you farming. And it also creates a fear factor for the enemy. They every time you just farming normally, now they think, oh, maybe he's going for another one of those stun setups. So it makes him stand even farther back, It makes it just easier to, you know, get your farm and get your lifesteal back up. This is the strength, you know. Without the threat of you doing stuff like that, they're going to be standing up here, stopping and punishing all these Qs on the minions, keeping you low. Every time you Q for a little bit of health, they're going to QW, you know, Oriana's going to QW that line to keep you even lower, and you're just going to get pegged down lower and lower and lower until they either dive you or you have to recall, or, you know, and you lose CS, whatever. Bad things will happen. But she's not going for those QWs like she wants to because of the threat of that combo that we already showed you. We do get all the creeps there, bit of a miscue there. So we see action going down here. We're watching the fight and we're starting to shadow, but there's nothing we can do about any of this. That was just set in stone. So we're going to go back here. We're going to try to maybe finish off this wave. We don't have any ward up. Our ward is on cooldown. We don't have a ward here. So we know they just took drag, so we're very careful about what's going on. At this point, it's kind of past the time where they wouldn't be still hovering there. So we're safe to take the wave. We take the wave and we're going to recall. Some people would have just recalled, you know, right after the fight. But, you know, Zed would have came straight here. He would have pushed your wave and you would have lost CS. So pushing off the wave toward them gets it in a spot where you can recall, right? Don't again, it's all about not missing CS and, you know, not letting CS get to your tower, or at least being there to get it all is how you don't miss any CS. That's how. The biggest CS loss is when you're losing CS to tower. That, you know, you're not going to lose CS with Irelia when you're in lane usually, unless you're getting dumpstered. So we're going to come back, tap W at the back line, which I don't even think we need to. We have the Blade of the Ruined King, so we're one-shotting back lines at this point. You know, level 9 with the Blade of the Ruined King, you're one-shotting the caster minions. We're just standing here, out of sight here, and I'm pretty sure I successfully avoided sight. So this is what you can do, and this is just hovering. This is a form of hovering. But I know they probably have a ward there. So I'm right here. Zed, he's here hovering with his pink, and I'm still here hovering. See this interaction? I know Zed is probably going there. I know these guys, you know, keep pushing up stupid. You know, they're super aggressive. They're looking for plays. You know, they're not bad players, but they're super aggressive. The jungler is looking to punish their aggressiveness and get them behind early. I recognize it and I just hover. I know that Irelia's not, or Oriana's not pushing the wave hard. You know, it was actually pushed to her, and she doesn't have push power to get it there, so we're not losing anything. Don't lose CS for stuff like that, but shadowing like that is very good. If there's nothing else you can do on the map, just hover a lane like that. But you don't have to be in the bush. You can be right here, and you're close enough to where if something breaks out and you're watching it, you can get there. You have your flash ult buffer combo. So we know we have a ward here because we know Nautilus has just been roaming mid over and over and over religiously. So any kind of wards we have, we're dropping them right here, or right here ideally. So it's right here. You see pretty much all, you know, you're gonna see him come this way, and you're gonna see him come this way, and you're gonna see it very early. If you're not watching the map, if you're not good at watching the map, maybe don't do this. Maybe just drop it here. If you are good at watching the map while you play, it's better to put it here. It really is. If you're getting roamed on by the support, you know, or you're playing against a roam mid, put one here. If you're playing against a roamer mid, this is the best spot for a ward. You know, here and here, you're catching everything. If you could put one in both, but most of the time they're gonna, if they have scut, you know, they're gonna be greedy. They're gonna go here. So you want to put a ward here if they have scut and they're trying to roam. We know Oriana's not gonna roam, so it's not really about that. It's more about seeing Nautilus come for us, and you could see that it was successful. We knew we were right on the Zed roam. We were right on the Nautilus roam. We're just right on everything. We're reading the map correctly. We're reading, you know, where would I be if I was a jungler? You know, these are things that good mids are doing. You know, even Tyler 1, he's watching, thinking, what's going on? Where's the jungle? He's a challenger jungle, right? So he knows a little bit what's going on. Nice Zed double. Really good flash. I actually had that Zed in my lobby on my team before somebody dodged. And he's actually a mid-main Zed, Irelia, Silas player. Kind of reminds me of myself. But, and he had some good KDAs in his previous games, but we're not too worried. We know he's not as good at Irelia as us, because he had a lot of deaths in his games. He had a lot of kills, but he had a lot of deaths, and that's not something you want. You can't carry if you're, you know, 12 and 12. Someone else is going to be, you know, carrying against you just as hard or harder, because a lot of, you know, if you're 12 deaths, that means somebody else has probably got around 17 kills, you know. Their top player, like, just based off, you know, just a guesstimate right there, like, just face the facts. If there's that many deaths on the board, they're not going to be spread evenly. They're going to be on their carry guy, on their good player. So you just simply can't die that much. You need to have low deaths to win games. You need to play a play style that starts at keeping low deaths and then builds up kills based on the enemy's misplaying. That's it. Farm first, and then an enemy missteps, then you go for a play and you get like a pin, a kill, whatever. But without, you know, the farm is guaranteed, so you get all of that, right? You get all the farm. And we're actually gonna really misplay this. Mord actually walks through us and dodges our ult. Ults us, and we can't do anything in his ult. As soon as he hit his shield, that broken buffed shield, this guy is Thanos at this point. I mean, he was 4-1-1, 130 CS, and we misplayed that so hard. We could have taken the Mord 1v1, but we just misplayed so badly there. So don't do that. Don't miss your ultimate. The ultimate should not be missed ever on Aurelia. And that's my bad right there. It doesn't happen a lot, but I did not expect him to walk through me there. That was like really good movement on his part. Really crazy that he dodged it. Kind of embarrassing, but let's just continue. Multiple embarrassing moments in the game. The flash at the beginning, you know, the you know, going in with that ward whenever they had 5 mid, you know, when they did the 4-man mid gank with the Asheville, we were going in aggressive without a ward, and that was not embarrassing, but that's stuff you just need to be mindful of. You know, I'm being dangerous, right? If you're going in hard and there's not a single ward in either bush, you're dangerous. You're dangerous, okay? So we almost missed that cannon, but we didn't. So be mindful of the cannon minions. That's a lot of gold. You cannot miss those. When I miss those, I just feel like it's so over, because the gold lead that you would have had on Aurelia isn't there if you're not getting the cannons. Like it just isn't. Creeps are so strong this season. It's insane. Creeps are so strong that Chovy's team has gone from being absolute terrible to like basically, you know, nearly beating LNG. It's nasty. I think if Chovy wasn't playing Tryndamere and they didn't have Morgan on the Irelia and they just gave Irelia to Chovy, Hanwha Life would have beat LNG in the standoffs. So we're going for the, we fell into the outer to get that extra farm. We recognize that there's nothing stopping us from getting like several waves. So we get those waves, and that's how you get your high CS per minute. Now we're at 216 at 23. Not quite 10 CS, but we're nearly there. We can get 10 CS. Not if we have to do these stupid fights though. So we are gonna turn this one though. Orianna just got zoned away. She was scared of the threat. She got zoned by just fear. And you can see how scared she is in this game. At some point I like queued a minion or something on the back line and she just flashes away. She's just batshit scared, right? And that's what you want them to be. Because in a perfect world, this Orianna is probably not bad. She probably, like, against someone who doesn't threaten her, she's probably QW, auto. You know, she's probably getting people low all the time and just frustrating them and making them recall and just, you know, out CSing them and just, you know, getting solo bolos on them, right? Not today, okay? Not today. I think if my team went on the Ashe there, we could have got her. But they don't. And we pick up the Nautilus, which is still good. We're going to push off that. They just don't have anybody. Like, Orianna's still at base buying. It's just a huge mid-diff. Wow, and we have the Diana barely living there. Nautilus hits a flash Q, misses. That's gotta feel bad. Diana's a really good player. She plays this game to near perfection. I think she played this game better than I played Irelia. Irelia, if you play Irelia, wins come pretty easy. If you play Diana, well, fuck, I don't know how people play Diana like anymore. She had a point where she was just broken recently, like. But then she got some nerfs, and she's not really hit much play unless you're in higher ELOs. But this Diana is showing you how it's done. There's a fight coming up where I'm pretty sure Diana just pops off. We did miss the we already missed the Orianna fear flash, the panic flash. But it was pretty funny what happened. This is what you're going for. Let's look at our build. Shieldbow, Bork, and then we hit him with the Wits because of the Mord being really strong. We were debating a QSS, but we're getting so strong that we could probably just take the Mord out and his ult. And that's what we're shooting for, or hoping for at least. If they get a really good engage like this, where they just completely drop everything on you instantly, with this build you're dead. And your team's gonna die too. Luckily, Diana just hits the most insane ult, and her damage is broken. She's 9, 0, and 7, and she's got a lot of items. She's dumping damage and playing really well. I'm thankful for this jungle. I'm thankful for this bot lane, even though they were kind of playing a little dumb. The Darius. No, we just carried the Darius, like, really hard. There's points where the Darius is just literally trying to throw. And we missed the main part where Darius is just literally. Did we miss it? No, we didn't miss it. It's coming up. Darius tries to throw the entire game. So I'm pretty sure we just take the inhib and then we back off. We're looking for a pick. We don't get anything. It's fine. We come over here. They get a pick on us. Slow us down. They get an ashole. And I jump on Zed and I nearly one-shot him, but I don't want to use my ignite. And I figure someone's going to tap him. But nobody taps him. So that shit happens. Do what you can do. Don't blow your ignite if you don't think you should blow your ignite. Like right there, that Zed should have just been melted. He spent way too much time in the depth of our team. We have a tank, 2 bruisers, and a Diana. He should have just died. So don't blow your ignite if you don't have to. It's really important to have. So this is where he just wants to throw. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? And then you're trying to pull them. Like, we know all 5 are there. I even cited them for him. Watch. Guys, don't do this. I'm paying him back. Like, we know they're all there. Right? We have vision. These 2 guys just went left mid lane and they're on their way, right? We have these guys. We see them. When we see them, we see all 5. Okay, so we're running, right? Where are you going, bud? Where are you going? Oh, trying to pull. Where are you going? Up, ran, back. Oh, nope. Up, trying to run. Oh, nope. Too late. Nautilus is on you. What are you doing? So, guys, don't do that. And just trying to halfway baits us because me and Diana know in a perfect world if we hit something crazy there, we can probably 2v5 it. And we're trying to look, and I was just like pinging her back. I was like, it's not worth. Right there, I think I tried to go for a flash Q, but like the Orianna ult just canceled it. So I already know this is a bad fight. We're gonna jump on somebody. This was just bad. I get my shield bow though. Boom, boom. I don't think I have another Q or Ashe was dead. I should have tried to auto her. I probably would have 2-tapped her. Maybe 1-tap. It feels like when your shieldbow procs, I don't know if your damage goes up or what. I know your lifesteal gets in crazy, but it seems like your damage goes up too because you just start melting people. And that's where the shieldbow comes in handy, guys. You're just, you're gonna see that shield pop on yourself. That's when you know it's go time. That's when you know. Go back in, get the double kill trade. You know you're dead. You know it. Get something. Go in ham. You might even just get a pinna. Your team might clean up. Just do what you can before you die. This is what, you need to do something before you die on this build. You will be doing crazy damage, but if you don't, get your combo out there, it's useless. You're the most useless champ, right? It's either feast or famine. You have the ability to take people out instantly, but you also have the ability to be taken out instantly. Even with your W, you're gonna be melted. And that's kind of so we're gonna grab that. Or I'm sorry, they steal it or whatever. They steal that, but we're just gonna end. So guys, that's what the build is all about. You're jumping on the squishies. You're hard farming. You're fast farming. You're fast pushing, going from mid to top, pushing, whatever, roaming around because your damage is crazy. The lifesteal is insane. The downfalls is you can't really chickens that early. You can get bursted. And you're susceptible to anti-heal. Other than that, you're just a machine. And we're not worried that much about the anti-heal thing because we're coming in near the end of fights where we just, you know, either that or we just pop onto the back line and we just kind of pop. They can anti-heal, but the damage that we have is also a problem. And that's how you hard carry with the new build that we're talking about. And hope you guys enjoyed the video and, you know, smash that sub. There'll be more videos to come in the future. Stay safe out there.